Andy B writes, "Hey guys, love the show. My question is for John. As a Star Wars fan, what impact do you think it will have on the franchise if Star Wars Episode 7 is as bad as the prequels? Would they still do Episodes 8 and 9 and drop the spin-offs, or maybe not even finish the final trilogy? And do you think the blame would fall on George Lucas or JJ Abrams? Thanks for answering and keep up the great work."
How much do you love that question,
Yeah,
John?
well, I mean, first of all, the question is a little bit flawed, because asking what happens if Star Wars Episode 7 is as bad as the prequels. Nothing can be as bad as the prequels. So we'll get past that for a second. Now let's get to the last part of your question, which is about the George. If it's bad, will the blame fall on George Lucas or JJ? The blame will fall on JJ. I've always said this. I still maintain it. Whoever is sitting in that director's chair is the buck stops here person, because really they're the ones who have the most control when it comes down to actually setting the tone, setting the direction, setting the story, for the most part. Now, the main part of your question, though, is if it's bad, could we see Disney abandon Star Wars? The answer to that is no, because you're asking the wrong question. In asking the question about what could make Disney or Marvel and Lucasfilm abandon their future plans for Star Wars isn't whether the movie is good or not, it's whether or not it makes money.
Exactly.
And Star Wars, because of the brilliance of the original trilogy, Star Wars will always be a brand name that will attract people to go see it. Star Wars Episode 7 is going to make, in technical financial terms, a buttload of money. It's going to make huge cash, and if they stumble on Episode 7, and if it's bad, which I really don't think it will be, but if it is, and it still makes money, they're still going to make Episode 8, and hopefully they correct the mistakes and get the course righted on their ship. So yeah, really that's the question, is does it make money, not whether it's bad or not. But look, you've got a great crew involved here. You got George Lucas no longer directing. You've got JJ Abrams in the director's chair. I love what he's done with Star Trek. So for all the reasons I've expressed 1,000 times before, I really do think it will be good, but even if it's bad, it'll still make money and they'll still continue. Aaron, how do you see it?
The way I see it is Disney has a lot riding on this franchise right now. They have this so planned out that they really cannot afford to make Episode 7 a bad movie, and I don't think it will be. I think they will do absolutely everything in their power and in conjunction with JJ Abrams to make this a good movie that fans are going to like. I think it's important to them, especially with JJ being a fan of the franchise. He doesn't want to be the guy responsible for making it as bad as the prequels, so I really don't think that we should be expecting a terrible movie, although, there's a lot to live up to. I think that everyone's going to put their A game for this movie because they really have a lot riding on it. They have a lot to lose.
Amy Rose?
Yeah, I mean, even if by critical standards people don't love it, and I'm still really hopeful because I do have faith in JJ. I'm glad that George is involved. I like all the pieces, and Disney has really proven that they just know what to do with an incredible slate. They're taking over the world. It's great. So I do have a lot of faith in it, and I just, it's going to make so much money. There's no possibility they're not going to continue this franchise. I mean, look at Twilight. Some people thought those were the worst films ever made, but it made a ton of money, and they kept making them until the book series concluded. That's how it's going to be here. There's so many different directions they can go with the spin-offs and everything, and I just have a lot of faith in the property and the players behind it, so I'm really excited about it. But there's no possible way they won't continue making these films unless they decide that they hate swimming in truckloads of money.
Yeah.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.